Initializing connection. Establishing network connectivity. Processing. Upload complete.
Hi, you're watching Pixel Politics, the only show with the consistency of butter. I'm not explaining that. I'm your host, James GK, and today we're talking about... No, I'm not doing that. Can't we do something fun instead, like, I don't know, a fake campaign ad? I'm pretty sure I'd remember something like that. What? No, it had this totally sweet ISA soundbite. Damn. Okay, but New York's next week, so nobody's gonna care until Monday. Fine. Ed, what you got? Ooh, sassy. Throw it up on the board. A negotiation takes place when two opposing sides have to share something they don't want to, like money, influence, or a park bench. One side will begin with an initial offer. If this offer is accepted, congratulations! By avoiding negotiations, you've won by default. However, in a more realistic scenario, the initial offer will be rejected, and a counter-proposal will be made. Now that we have our initial offer and our counter-proposal, the grounds on which we are negotiating have been fully defined. This is because once negotiations have been entered into by both parties, asking for more than the initial offer or the counter-proposal is ineffective and grants that party the image of being a dick. So let's look at a simple scenario, each time using a different initial offer. In this scenario, Mother Taxpayer provide Dem and Rep two cookies which they are left to allocate as they see fit. Dem begins with a very reasonable initial offer. I should receive one cookie and you should receive one cookie. Hey, my scenario, I choose the voices. Rep comes back with their counter-proposal. Fuck you, I'll take both cookies and you like it. Now negotiations may take place, and if the situation seems a little uneven, that's because Dem used a strategy I like to call pre-negotiating. They matched their initial offer to what they felt was the most likely outcome. However, Rep matched their counter-proposal to their best possible outcome, therefore defining the field in Rep's favor. If you don't believe me, let's look at the field. Rep has been effectively promised one whole cookie regardless of the outcome, whereas Dem now has to fight for every percentile of the remaining cookie. So let's say this exchange ends with a 50% compromise off of the initial offer. That would leave Dem with 1/2 cookie and Rep receiving 1 1/2 cookies, or 75% of the counter-proposal. Next, let's look at the same scenario, but we'll match Dem's strategy to Rep's strategy. So the initial offer instead sounds a little more like, "Hoi prick, I'm gonna take both of these." And then the counter-proposal would be something a little more like, "Oh, fuck you are, they're both mine." Well, the playing field's a lot more even, and more likely to end in a compromise which grants Dem 50% of the initial offer, and Rep 50% of the counter-proposal. This is because in such a scenario in which both cookies are left on the table in their entirety, both sides are left to argue for the same total percentage of what's at stake. This might sound childish, but it's not. Not really. And it's not even selfish. If we take that initial scenario, the one in which Dem pre-negotiated, and we apply it into a paradigm in which Rep is expected to be confrontational, then, in that situation, within that paradigm, Dem has functionally removed the compromise which best suits both sides. There's a lot more I'd like to say on the topic, and am likely to do so in the future, but I have to wrap this video up. So I'll just say this. If you begin a negotiation by offering the largest compromise you're willing to take, don't expect to win that exchange. And if you're someone who does this and is expecting my support in November, well, perhaps you shouldn't expect that either. Well, that's it for the program today. Thank you for watching, and as always, I'm your host, James GK, and you just watched Pixel Politics.